making all these promises, or false promises, you see something a little bit more murky picture. Like the money that you get from college is very minimal, like $2,400, and that $2,400 that goes for college, one, you're probably couldn't pay for your 4 years of books, and two, also at the same time, it's the money that you put in for 2 years that you're part of the military. You're required to put into a military fund or a military college, whatever they call it, and it's $100 a month times 12 times 2, so $2,400. So, but at the same time, you're required to use that money to go to classes. So let's say you're in basic training, or you just completed basic training. They require you to say, okay, you completed this, but you have a certain frame and window or time frame to complete college classes. So after you've done 12, 14 hours of grueling military work, you have to go take a night class. How many people do you think would take advantage of that? I don't think it's that many. Or you get, sent to a needless conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan, where you're basically demoralized, and the negligence in which our leaders send people to war is abhorrent. I mean, few soldiers know how to speak Arabic. They don't understand the language, the customs. There's constant tension. They're not actually nation building. They're just occupying. I mean, it's sort of like, it goes to the absurd level that do you want American soldiers to be killed? I mean, apparently so.
Can I ask you gentlemen a question? You look pretty much of college age or high school age, and you seem pretty educated and knowledgeable of what the intercomplex runnings of what creates war. What do you think is your future if you stop the war or don't stop the war? Tell me your aspects on it.
Well, it's not really about starting or stopping the war. It's about raising awareness and telling people what's going on and reminding people that there are alternatives for nation building that does not require military occupation of the country, and it does not also require the fact that we need to, go on and defend an occupation on racist assumptions. Sunnis and Shiites have existed peacefully in Iraq for hundreds of years, and this division is only spurred by the negligence and irresponsibility of the United States government. When they went in and they destroyed the infrastructure of the country, and Iraqis had no way to feel like they are Iraqis, it's basic nationalism. What you result to other cultural bonds, and those cultural bonds happen to be under not just militia, but under Islamic sects. And there are some people who are bad, and but that radicalism can be eased once the United States leave, because once the United States leave, those radical organizations will no longer have the voice of saying they're occupying. Now the Iraqi people can decide for themselves how they wish to live their lives.
It seems like a car just drove by that had some kind of other alternative to what you were saying. Just one last question.
Sure.
What do you feel is the future way that the world will be able to resolve conflicts?
Well,
what's a good alternative to war?
I think it's not about alternative. It's about an alternative war. It's about open and honest debate, where we have policymakers and leaders responsible for their actions or held accountable for what they've done wrong and what they've done right. And granted, the idea of nation building and freedom and democracy in Iraq sounds great, but when push comes to shove and they show that they're not, or that's not their primary interest, or that's not their interest at all, then we must vocalize this. And that's about democracy. This is about people getting onto the street and saying, this is wrong, and we're going to stand up to this injustice.
A lot of people say the war is about oil. Do you feel that that's the economic underpinnings of this war?
I disagree with that a little bit. I think it's a lot to do with arrogance, negligence, irresponsibility, lies. I do think oil is a large part of it, but I will not say it's the single most important component, because the single most important component of this is American lives and Iraqi lives and Afghani lives.
Thank you so much.